All right, everybody, welcome on in. This is a weekly update of my journey in investing, ladies and gentlemen. My journey in investing, this is what I'm doing with my money. Where do we end up, ladies and gentlemen? How much money are we up or are we down? Oh, $143,363.07, ladies and gentlemen. We are totally down from last week. Actually, Friday was brutal. Friday was brutal, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to the investment part. Let's look at the week. The week, ladies and gentlemen, we're down $2,993.89, 11% in 1 week. For the month, we're finishing out the year, January here, ladies and gentlemen, down 2,038.85, 951. And we did get more. I do got one place to open up my put for SoFi that expires on this Friday, ladies and gentlemen, on the 6th. I got $211 off this put for 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. We are down. We are down. SoFi price is $22.78, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to buy it. I will be buying at 28. Then I will do cover calls, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this is going to be all about. I wanted it. I get it. But let's look at the margin, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Margin total of 30,000. This used to be higher. It's going down, ladies and gentlemen, due to this used to be up to 43,000. Now it's going down to 30,000. I got $7,269.83 margin used, and we got the collateral 2,800 for a grand total of 20,852. And I'm going to be spending there $5,213.18. I probably won't use that. It's at 31%. I'm waiting till I pay off this $7,269. How I'm going to do that, ladies and gentlemen? Since I got 10, I can do 10 contracts of Big Bear AI, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Big Bear AI has been down for the week, 86 cents. Got 1,000 shares. Let's look at the cover calls. I like to do a $7 and an $8, $8.01. I'll probably be doing 3 here, and 3 here would give me $2,100. And do the other 7 here is $5,600, ladies and gentlemen. That will pay off the margin in this account. But also, I could use this other one that helped me pay it off. Is Resolve, ladies and gentlemen. Got 700 shares of Resolve at $3.49, ladies and gentlemen. Selling puts at $4. Oh no. Selling calls for $4. You ain't no $4. It's only at $3, ladies and gentlemen. I probably won't be selling until we get this going up. If it runs up on Monday, we could get that $4, ladies and gentlemen. I want to sell these 7 shares at $4. That's $2,800. Help pay off margin. Then I can do lower ones the following week because I don't want to lose money in the brokerage account, ladies and gentlemen. It's about making money, not losing money, ladies and gentlemen, in my brokerage account. Then go to the retirement accounts. Starting off with the Roth IRA, ladies and gentlemen, we got $324.76 we could play with. Well, I do cover puts. If I do, it will be on Resolve. For the week, ladies and gentlemen, we're down $2,868.50. 972, ladies and gentlemen. For the month, and the month here, ladies and gentlemen, we're down $1,889.85. $6.63. And 165 will be coming in here on Monday, ladies and gentlemen, for the market open up. And how do we gonna make some money here? We could do Resolve. I got 700 shares of Resolve. Talking about it again. 343. I could do 350 on these, ladies and gentlemen. If this go up to 350, I would do 350 on this one. Make my money on that, ladies and gentlemen, or $4. Who knows? And we got Open Door. Open door here, ladies and gentlemen. We got SoFi. I look at SoFi. What are we? Got one contract on SoFi, 27.83. We're gonna do a $28. This all could change before the market open up on Monday. Could make $3 on $28, but I get my money back plus $3, ladies and gentlemen. Probably would do that because why? What has SoFi been doing this week? What has SoFi been doing this week? Down $3.06, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the one day. 645. We're down to 23.92. Earnings came out around this time, ladies and gentlemen. This one they announced their earning. Then they had their meeting afterwards. Went up to $1.33 during that time. Then went up to 184. Then after they were done talking, look what it did afterwards, ladies and gentlemen. Below what it started out before the pump, ladies and gentlemen. Some people bought it here, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't. I did buy 1 or 2 shares at this level to lower my cost average down. That's all that about, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm looking at the Roth IRA, ladies and gentlemen. Year to date, we're down 6.6%. Let's look at the traditional account, ladies and gentlemen. 94,000. 14.22, ladies and gentlemen. I started this account 2 years ago with my rollover at 84. I'm only up $10,000. Up $10,000. Let's look at all. Let's look at all. Oh, up $8,726.15. 10% in 2 years, ladies and gentlemen. That's still good in my book, but I haven't been doing that much lately. Year to date, ladies and gentlemen, we're down $3,374.59 at 3.4 for the week. At $9,178, got $229. Probably can't do nothing with that. Maybe if we sell some, I'm looking at some cover calls. All I can do is cover calls anyway on SBIT. I know I got one at 10. I could do around $10.50 or $11 because that's what my lowest one I bought at. At $11, you can make $2. But I bought at $10.50, I make another 50 cents on the appreciation. That's what I'm looking at. Try to free up some money for I could do puts the following week. Let's look at the following week for puts. All this could change beforehand. Free up that money. Do a put around $9.50. Be $93, ladies and gentlemen. All that will change before the following week. I just like to look at it and could plan ahead, but you really can't plan ahead too. That start, ladies and gentlemen. Resolve. I'm keeping 2,000 shares because I need it to go up to $7 to $8 to pay off my debt. I'm in, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I'm back in $4,933.42. But look at the video where I started paying off the bigger debt of Resolve. But I got 1,100 shares I can do in calls. I'm looking at $3.50 and $4 if I could do it. I'm not doing nothing less than $3.50 or $4 because I got a lot of calls at $3, ladies and gentlemen. We're assigned 5 at $3.50 this last week. Let it roll down here. There's my assignment for the 30th. 7 contracts for $258. Actually, it was a $3 put. And show more. I know I got $7 in here. Huh. What am I? Not what I want. I do get some more, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's I go back to resolve. Got that one, and we had some more. Okay, we got 5 contracts, 350, 4 at $3, ladies and gentlemen. That's where I want to put. Got 9 contracts added. Made $65 of them 9 contracts for them puts, but I'm gonna do cover calls with 4 at $3.50 and 5 at $4. Get depreciation, lower down the debt, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm looking at. Make sure you tune in that resolve video on Friday, ladies and gentlemen. And can we get more money freed up before next week, ladies and gentlemen? Before I can do more puts. Puts you usually make more money because they give you less for the cover calls for it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one. Peace out.